Hello from Hollywood. My name is Anthony Boyer.
And I'm Jess Canty.
And today on Take Fountain, we're going to talk about audition terminology. During the course of your acting career, you are going to audition a lot. You're going to audition a lot more than you're actually going to film, it is very likely. So one of the things that people struggle with when they first get out to Hollywood, I find, is just knowing the terminology. Would you agree?
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. There's a lot of lingo in the entertainment industry in general, and auditions are no exception.
Yeah. And so there are a few different kinds of ways that auditions are held these days. It used to be you'd get an audition, you'd go there, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you'd fight traffic to get to Santa Monica, you would say your 2 lines and leave. It's changed a lot since then. True. The majority of auditions you do are actually going to be self-taped these days. Do you want to talk a little bit about what the self-tape audition looks like?
Sure, absolutely. So if you're self-taping, there's a couple ways of doing this. You can do it at home with a reader of your choice, a friend, a roommate, a spouse. A stranger. And we've talked about this in another video, but a simple setup, your, smartphone plus a natural lighting source and a plain wall is enough for a self-tape audition at home. You don't have to get super fancy with it, all the way up to professional photography backdrops. We always recommend that you don't invest in more expensive equipment until your acting business can afford it. So that is the first way of self-taping. You can also tape at a self-tape studio. There's a number of them in town. Most major markets will have self-tape studios where they're going to provide all that equipment for you. They're going to actually even often edit the video for you and send you the link that you can send off to your agent or manager or the casting director directly, depending on how you're getting that audition notification.
Yeah, and so to jump into some of the terminology, there are 2 ways. Obviously, let's say that you're using your phone in particular. You might shoot horizontally or vertically. Would you agree? Unless asked specifically for vertical video, you should shoot horizontally.
100%. The default is horizontal. Quite often you'll see in the instructions, please shoot horizontally. That's what they mean. If you're using an iPhone, they do not want that vertical video aspect ratio. So most theatrical auditions that are self-tape are coming through Breakdown Services / Actors Access, 2 sides of the same company. We've covered that in another video. They have a self-taping service which allows you to upload your tapes directly to EcoCast, that's what it's called, and that gets sent through either to your agent, manager, or sometimes directly to casting. If you see on there, another term you'll see in there is direct submit. Okay. So if it's set to direct submit, that will go straight through to the casting director. If you don't see that, if it says direct submit no, it's going to go to your rep before it gets sent on to the casting director. So Breakdown Services, most likely a theatrical audition. Casting Networks is going to be commercial auditions. They have recently added a function where you can upload videos, your auditions, directly in Casting Networks. That's relatively new. The primary thing is always follow the instructions and ask your rep questions if you don't understand some terminology.
Yeah, exactly. And then the very most important thing about any taped audition, or really any audition at all, do not post it publicly.
Yes.
Never post it publicly. That is something that sometimes it will even violate an NDA. It's always problematic. There's really no benefit to it. Avoid the temptation to post your auditions publicly.
Yeah, I'm going to say it as well, just to emphasize it. Do not ever post your auditions to social media, any other public platform without permission. There are times where after you have booked a role and you actually film that episode or film that movie, and that movie or episode has been released to the public, right, that it is probably okay to, at that point, post it and show, hey, this is the audition for this role I
Even then I would get permission.
But I was going to say, yeah. But you're still going to want to get permission to do that.
Yeah.
You have to remember that the script that you're working off of is copywritten material that you do not own. It is property of the company that paid to have that created and written. So a major studio, a TV network. And that is why we just always say, do not post it, because it is not you don't own that material.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, someone is going to book that job, and someone is going to create that performance under different conditions. And there's no benefit to it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't post it publicly.
But hold on to your self-tapes, because, when looking for an agent or a manager, if you taped for a large role on something, you got a call back on something that's a very popular show. And that can be a really good way of showing your work, even if you didn't actually book the job. So we encourage you to keep your tapes and keep them organized and labeled, but don't post them to social media.
Don't post them publicly at all, ever. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Anthony Boyer. This is Jess Canty. Thanks so much for watching.